All right, welcome everyone. Today is Wednesday, August 30th, 2023, and this is the SIG Cloud Provider meeting. SIG Cloud Provider is a sub-project of Kubernetes SIGs, and as such, we follow their meeting guidance, which basically says, please treat everyone kindly, and if you'd like to speak, please raise your hand. Although there's only a couple of us here, so I don't think it'll be that big of a deal. So looking at our agenda for today, I'm not seeing any sub-project updates, although we do have some representatives here. Does anyone want to give a sub-project update?
I don't have anything specific this time.
Yeah, same here, nothing specific currently.
This is John from IBM. I will make one comment that I'm doing some refactoring on the CCM logic for IBM Cloud, and it's being done in the 1.28 branch that we open sourced.
All right, cool. Thanks, John.
Yep.
All right, so I guess that's our provider updates. Let's get to the regular agenda. Kirthan, you've got the first item, so please take it away.
Sure. This is a pending PR from some time. I just want to get if there's any other new blockers. I could have asked on GitHub itself, but I thought I can bring it in the SIG meetings to get approval from both cloud provider and networking so that we can just go ahead with the merge. This is just adding a new flag to replace the existing cloud provider. This would be mostly to be used after migrating all the cloud providers out of tree. Sorry, from out of, yeah.
Okay. So what, I guess I'm a little confused here. What is this? This is not adding the cloud provider flag, is it?
No, this is just instead of the it is going to add cloud providers as external. So currently we have this cloud provider external or some provider name, right? This is instead of using the existing flag to say that we are using the external cloud provider, we are adding a new flag. That way we can just say it's external or not. And Kubernetes will just have currently I think we say GCP and AWS and other stuff, right? And using the flag.
Okay, cool. So it sounds like we just need to get a few more reviews on this is kind of what you're looking for here.
Yes. So there are already some reviews, but yeah, I think one of the comment was to just get approval from both the SIG Cloud Provider and SIG Networking before we can, get approvals from both the SIGs. If it's going to block any of the, if there's any unknowns which this might cause issue, just for safety precautions.
So just taking a quick look through this, it definitely looks like a number of people from SIG Network have commented, and there may be some complexity here. So, I'm definitely not ready to say, oh yeah, it looks good. We probably all should review it. So
yes, definitely. Yeah. So one of the things with, I think the discussion, at least for the SIG Network, it became a bit more it went on a side note because it started okay, what is this flag going to be used for? Especially when we remove the cloud providers from the in-tray, and that started a discussion onto the one is the taints, another one is the node IP related things, and that went into that discussion more whether we can remove the node IP thing from cloud provider logic or not, or and talking discussion on a different cap which is working on that node IP part. So yeah, yes, there's a significant discussion, but not everything on the discussion is related to this exact changes, but it went in a different way. So
yeah, to me, at a high level, I think you're right. We still do need to be able to say whether you're using a CCM you know, in external mode, or you're not using any CCM. So I think the binary nature makes sense. But yeah, like I haven't looked at this issue, so I probably, you know, I agree with Bridget. Probably we need to spend some time kind of reviewing and leave our comments here and figure out what the best step forward is. Because this,
Yeah,
like, yeah, this is it's gonna surprise some people when we change this, right?
yep, definitely. So that's the reason. Like, I just want like so that it can be kept in a queue of reviews so that we can.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, I'll put it on my review queue and try to add a comment there. Thanks for bringing it up, Kirsten.
sure. Thank you.
Okay, the next couple are from me. I'm just going to make a note here. Okay. So this came up earlier because some of the OpenStack folks were trying to update a PR and they wanted to get approval from us, but it turns out that the aliases that we have in the k8s.io repo only have, I think, Andrew and Walter as the.
Yeah, I see this one and I was like, oh, this is one that wasn't on the checklist from the, you know, change chair stuff. But I am in the middle of a pull request right now, so I'll probably have
Oh,
a
okay.
PR for you to approve before this meeting is over.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much, Bridget. All right. So I wanted to bring up, I guess, like probably this will come up in the triage, but since we had been pinged about it, I just wanted to bring it up specifically. So I believe her name is Lakshmi. She pinged in chat about this docs related issue that came up. So she had been asking me about, like, in our running Cloud Controller Manager docs in the official Kubernetes documentation, you know, it says kube API server and kube controller manager must not specify the cloud provider flag. But currently, if you're trying to run an external cloud provider, you need to specify the flag for external. So she was looking to put forth a PR for that and created an issue, and was just looking to see if we would approve it on triage. So I guess, like, are there any objections to approving this, or should we accept it?
Triage accepting it sounds great. I think we have to double check and make sure that whatever is getting changed in there is accurate.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
it
she and I
definitely
went
sounds
back and forth.
relevant.
Yeah, she and I went back and forth on it in terms of like getting the guidance updated. So I think that part, yeah, totally agree. That'll need some more reviews, but I think in terms of just getting the issue accepted, like, it probably makes sense. Okay. So hopefully, does anyone know, is the command like that? Is it triage dash accepted?
I think there's a space instead of a dash,
Okay.
but I'm not 100% positive off the top of my head suddenly.
Yeah, let me see if the bot. Oh yeah.
The bot usually, yeah, it's space.
What a good bot.
Such a helpful bot.
Okay. So next topic, I'm looking to poke an Azure maintainer about this issue here. So I'm glad that, Bridget, you're here.
Yeah. So I took a look at this one and I scrolled all the way down and I was like, it looks like the last thing Almiko actually said to this guy was you should rebase. And I did ping him over on Kubernetes Slack just to kind of see if he wanted to try to do the rebase. But which it looks like maybe has not happened yet. But you're saying that maybe rebasing isn't going to solve it, or like,
well, it's going to need to be fixed in a rebase. But here was I think the big issue was that, you know, like Damiano opened this PR on May 16th.
Things have changed.
And what has happened, is that there have been successive changes that have come in, and he's rebased it a couple times to follow those. So, like, I think we're trying his patience a little bit to I could ask him to rebase it again. But could we get a review or something at that point?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to check in with Peng Fei and see what is happening. Because I think the most recent, if I scroll back up, I remember there being a discussion of, hey, we want to put this on hold or something. But I'm trying to remember if this is that one. Yeah, so at least at one point, Peng Fei
Yeah.
was like, we're working on this, let's hold. Um, So I'm going to try to see if I can get an answer from him as to, are we still holding? What is the current holdup? And can we go to Joel's point? Can we bring these changes in? But yeah, that's an action item for me to find out if there's something that isn't reflected in the issue that we can communicate. I don't know if that blocker is still a blocker or not, off the top of my head. But I will find out. Either way, we probably still have to rebase, assuming we're going to merge it, which I hope we are, but yeah, we probably do still need rebase to be
Yeah.
able to
Okay, cool.
move
That's cool.
forward,
Yeah.
obviously.
No, I mean it's fine if it's fine if there's like still discussions happening on your end. It's like
It has been some time.
yeah, well, it's been a couple months, but also like, and I think this is probably like maybe a unique problem that Red Hat has, which is like as a downstream consumer, as
Yeah.
we go to rebase some of these things, we're hitting this now that we can't like we're having trouble injecting changes on top of the rebases, and that's our problem, for sure.
Well,
But
but I still would like to get resolution here, so I'm going to try
yeah,
for
totally. Yeah, thank you. Okay, and the last topic for me is something that came up from our security folks internal at Red Hat, and we wanted to surface the issue here. So we were recently, our security team was doing an audit and review of cloud controller managers in OpenShift, and one of the things they noticed was that the CCMs, or at least the ones they were looking at, did not have comprehensive audit logs for the activity that the cloud controller manager is taking with the cloud. So for example, updating load balancer type services, or interacting with the node instance objects. And so they wanted us to look into the possibility of kind of improving the audit logging. Now, this obviously every cloud provider is going to be doing things a little differently and have their own, kind of mechanisms for the controller, but maybe it's something we could add to the cloud provider kind of root library. Maybe we could put a framework there that would give everyone kind of some very similar functions that they so all the cloud providers could use the same set of functions for doing auditing type stuff or creating the audit logs. Anyway, like I don't know what the ultimate solution would be, but I wanted to bring it here just to kind of open the discussion up. So does anyone have thoughts, I guess?
I have a question, and maybe I spaced out when you were explaining it, but what exactly is the cloud interactivity? Is
So
that like the behavior or the code base
right,
or
the
something
behavior,
else?
yeah.
A
So for
flag?
example, like if a user creates a service and that requires the CCM to update a load balancer in the infrastructure, having like an audit log of that or having a log of that activity. So those type of things.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think inter is what confused me because I was like, you mean between? Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. No, really like, yeah, anytime that like the CCM is going to modify or update
calls
something,
into the cloud. Yeah.
Right. Then having an audit log of that or having some sort of comprehensive log of that, kind of like, and this can get like, I guess we'll have to decide how verbose we want it, but something that's like user X has tried to do Y in situation Z, and the result was, ABC or whatever.
I'm curious this sounds interesting. And I also would imagine that just this blurb is not enough for us to bring to any of our dev teams and say exactly what could we implement. So I'm wondering if would it be worthwhile to try to define like example use cases or example output that we're hoping to see a little more specifically so that we can say, hey folks, is this something we can build? And then people will say, oh, something that specific is going to have this problem, but we could do something like this. You know what I mean? Like in general,
Yeah.
it sounds like a good idea. I think the devil is going to be in the exact details that they're hoping to
Right.
see.
No, I think absolutely we can. And in fact, that's kind of why I wanted to bring it just lightly like this, is that, yeah, if this sounds like an interesting topic for the SIG, then yeah, what I would do as a next step is probably put together a document that I could share with everyone, just saying like, this is what I would want to see us do. And if that turns into a cap for us or something or whatever, you know, whatever the next step is there, I'm happy to go that direction. So yeah, like if you think it sounds interesting and nobody else on the call has kind of any objections or anything, yeah, like I'm happy to take the next step of kind of documenting this and proposing it as like an enhancement to the SIG or something.
Should we give the other providers a chance to weigh in? Tell us what they
Yeah,
think?
totally.
What do you folks think?
Yeah, I think this would help. Like,
I think this is a good idea. I think we should go forward with this. I've been asked a couple of times internally about what type of auditing does CCM do, and I said, well, we don't do anything. What do you mean you don't do anything? You should be doing stuff. So yeah.
yeah,
Okay, cool. Well, I will take as an action then to write up a description of what I think we should do here, and then we could discuss it further as a group or maybe propose it as a cap or something.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right. And I also put that PR in that you were looking for. So as soon as it's
awesome.
finished doing all of its checks, I think the bots are sluggish today.
Very cool.
But
All right, well,
we can move forward on that once the bots are awake.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so I guess that's the end of the regular agenda. Let's take a look at the open issues to see if we have anything that still needs triaging. Okay, well, it looks like
we have one new one.
Yeah, we got one new one here.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a bug.
So if it's a disabled feature flag, why would it be? Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like it should happen.
So I guess the thing I don't know is if this is happening in Kubernetes Cloud Provider, that means we would have to make a change there, and then people depending on it would need to update their dependencies as well. So I mean, that sounds like something that we should accept. I'm not sure if we should assign it to anyone though, because I'm not sure who would be the owner for that. Does anybody else have thoughts on this?
Sorry, I came in late. Is the problem here that the webhook is listening even when there's no webhook running?
Yeah, the ports are binding even if the webhooks aren't running.
So the person who wrote most of this code is Nick. So I mean, it might make sense. I don't know if Nick's on the call, but it might make sense to at least CC Nick.
And hi, Walter.
Should we accept the triage on this? I guess that's the question.
I mean, it sounds like a bug. I guess we haven't like reproduced it independently. What do you think, Walter?
Yeah, I would do that. I mean, if you could CC me as well, I'm hoping Nick will take it, but otherwise I did the reviews for this, so I'm probably I make sense for me to be the number 2 on it.
So was that yes, we should accept this?
Yeah, I think we should accept this.
Okay.
And thank you, Bridget. Sorry I'm late. Hi, everyone.
Okay, so I don't think there were any other issues that were more recent than that. Yeah, so that should be it for the new triage then. Assuming, I guess the bots are probably running slowly, right?
It looks like the CLA bot finally finished, so
Okay.
for that one. But yeah, I think the bots are slow today.
Okay, well, that brings us to the end of our agenda. Are there any ad hoc topics that people would like to bring up? We still have about 5 minutes left before or I guess this is a full hour meeting, so we got plenty of time if people want to talk. Okay. 3, 2, 1. All right, if no one's got a topic, then I guess we'll see y'all next week. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.